Hey guys, this is Stephanie and I'm Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Today I'm coming to you with not really a tag, but a video that I saw on Happy Elephant Books. I will link his channel down below. I love watching his channel. I love hearing what he has to say. He's amazing. Basically, he came out with a video last week, the week before, about his top 5 books that he wants to see made into movies. And I was like, I want to do this too. This sounds fantastic. Now, here's the thing. I had a really hard time making this list 5, like a really hard time. So the list is not 5. The list is like 15 or so. What I decided to do was the top 5 books into TV shows and then the top 10 books into movies. Some of those are going to be movie series. Because it's a lot of books, let's just get on with it. The first, I'm going to start out with my 5 books to TV shows. I'm going to go first with the Six of Crows duology. Now, I've only read the first one, but if the second one is even half as good, which I've been told it's actually twice as good, I think it would be an incredible TV series. There are just so many little details in the backstories of these characters that I would hate to lose. And in a movie, I feel like I would lose that. But I feel like this could be like one of those 8-episode miniseries ones, like 8 45-minute episodes. And I think that would actually work really, really well for this duology. And I think being well cast, I would very much enjoy seeing that. The next one I think would be a good TV show series would be Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I actually haven't read the series at all, but I've heard a lot about it. And I feel like from what I've heard about it, actually would be a pretty good TV show. I don't think they would do a book a season type of thing like some books. That's the way to go. I don't think that's the way to go with these. I think they would have to do like a book and then some each season. Maybe in the later books they could cover more, but from what I've heard about this and Assassin, things like that, I think it could shape up to be a pretty good series. Or maybe it could be one of those short series, like where they have 10 episodes in a season versus the 21. Either way, I think I'd enjoy seeing this on the screen. Next, I have the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. Now, this I feel like is one of those books you could have one book be a whole season. You could definitely do 20 episodes with this one book. There are 2 trilogies in the Mistborn series. There's these 3, and then there's the Alloy of Law series, and that is also another trilogy. Between the 2 trilogies in the Mistborn world, I do think that you could have a good 6 seasons of a TV show. And knowing Brandon Sanderson, he's just going to put another trilogy in that universe because it's an incredible universe. It's an incredible universe to read about. The next one I would suggest would be Name of the Wind by Patrick Rolfes. Now, I've read the first one, I've not read the second one, and the third one's not out yet. So this is going to be a series, down the road a little bit. But I think it would be a pretty incredible series. I read the first book. I could definitely see an entire season being that first book. I loved the little details, and I think a TV show is going to hit every one of those little details. Now, you could again do with this book, I feel like you could do like the hour-long 10-episode thing that they do in England, and that would probably be really, really, really good with this. But we will have to wait until that third book is actually written before this can happen. But I totally enjoyed the socks off that first book. I'm really putting off the second book because I at least want a release date for the third book, but I don't know how long I'll wait because I really did like it. And the 5th one I'm going to suggest is going to be actually the InDepth Series by J.D. Robb. Now, this is like a 45 book series or so. I'm probably wrong about that. I've only read the first like 10 or 8. I don't know where I am in it. I'm not in a hurry to read them. They're all good. There is a little more romance in these books than I actually prefer in my books, but the plot is progressive. So it's not like the same characters doing the same thing every time. And is it you? Is it you? Is it you? It's the first one. It's not that predictable and formulaic, but there's a lot of character development. Your main character is Eve Dallas, and she definitely progresses even from the first book to the 8th book where I'm at. And I'm told that by the time you get to the 40-somethings, she's not a different person, but she's a more developed person, which is good. We should all, change for the better. I think this would be a great TV show. I think that you could probably do 2 or 3 episodes for each book. They're not super long. They sit somewhere around like 300-ish pages. You could easily knock out one book in 2 to 3 episodes and have a whole season in just 7 books. Then, that would mean she already has math people, 8 or 9 seasons already written. Not to mention by the time you get there, she'll have another, 20 books. But because the character development and the fact that it's kind of a murder mystery-esque cop show-like book, I think that would actually translate very well into a TV series. Just a side note, I'm going to presume that the casting for all of these books is going to be spot on. So you can't look at it and be like, oh, but it's going to suck. It's not going to suck. The casting is going to be perfect, just like it is in my head. And 2 honorable mentions that I'm not going to go into there is going to be Raven Boys, because I heard it is already going to be a TV show. Super excitement there. And Lunar Chronicles. I wasn't sure with the buzz if it was going to be a series of movies or a TV show. I think it would be better as a TV show personally because, again, TV shows pick up those little details. All right, and getting on to the 10 books that I think would be great movies. First one is going to be Station 11. And this is by Emily St. John Mandel. I just read this month, and I think this would be an incredible movie. It is a multi-perspective book, and it's kind of like I wouldn't say it's a future dystopian, but I would say it's kind of a future society where things have kind of crumbled. In this book, you follow a traveling group of actors and an orchestra. A lot of it is from their point of view, and you kind of get to see them moving from community to community and hopefully sharing entertainment and joy and things like that. But even in a futuristic society, which is probably more simple than us, there are still complications. I think this would be a very, very good movie. It does have some small details that I'm hoping that they would include, but even without that, I think the storyline itself and the character development would be more than enough. I just wouldn't want them to take away the multi-perspective. I think this is one of the few books that actually the multi-perspective is what makes this book what it is. Next, I have the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. Now, I'm going to admit, I don't really like the City of Bones series that much. To me, it's just okay. But this series I liked. I think this would be a great trilogy of movies. Knowing movies these days, they would try to make 4 out of it, but whatever, because I loved Clockwork Princess. Basically, it's a series with like warlocks and shadow hunters, and it takes place about the turn of the 19th century, and her writing honestly just grabbed me from the beginning, and following the character Tessa along the way, seeing the world the way Tessa did. I also think they would be great movies because they have such an opportunity for so much wonderful visual and special effects. And I love Jem. Next, I'm going to say 3 Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. This is actually a duology. The second book comes out this month, next month, I'm not sure when. Now, I didn't give this book great reviews, so you're probably like, why in the world are you recommending this be a movie? Because I think it would actually be an excellent movie. As a book, the first 3/4 of it was really, 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 really slow. I think that they could take like a big chunk of that and either make it more entertaining or just make it go faster. And then when you have your payoff at 75% through the book, not that they should move that forward, but they could even take a little bit of the next book and stack that on the front. All in all, I think that this duology would make a great set of movies. Next, we have Olivia Jules and The Overactive Imagination by Helen Fielding. Now, I don't think a lot of you guys have necessarily heard of this book. This is the gal who wrote the Bridget Jones books, and this is actually an incredibly fun book. It's a little older. It was written in 2003, and basically it's about a girl who is like a reporter, like a writing reporter for, I think, a newspaper. And she's constantly creating drama out of nothing. And then one time she goes in and she starts creating drama, but there really is drama. This book is filled with interesting locations and lots of action and lots of adventure. And I think that would translate really well to the screen. Now, since this was written 14 years ago, I think that they would have to update it quite a bit, which might change a little bit of the story. For instance, her cell phone didn't have internet on it back then. And of course, all cell phones do now. So I think that some things would change, but I'm pretty sure they could update that and make a really great movie. Next, I have The Selection by Kiera Cass. I think that the 3 books, there are only 3 books, would make an excellent set of movies. I would actually make those first 3 books into 2 movies. The second book was a little Basically, it's a futuristic dystopian society with a caste system, and then they have like a bachelorette kind of thing to get the prince of this country married off. And it's kind of just a fluffy, fun book. It's not particularly serious. It's definitely not like an earth-shattering book or anything, But it's a really fun read. I read it quite a few years ago, and I think that they can make 2 really great movies out of these 3 books. Next, I have Red Rising from Pierce Brown. Now, I think there's a 4th one of these coming out, and this is another one that I haven't read, but just from what I've heard of it, this book would translate well from pages to screen. And they could probably get 4 movies, maybe even 5 if they played their cards right, out of this book. And as far as I've heard as well, it's a very engaging series. You love the characters, you love the world, and that is very good building material for a very good movie. Or 4. Next, I have Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. Now, this is basically like Lost, the TV show, but with a bunch of beauty queens. Only it's a little funnier. Lost got a little too serious and heavy. But it follows the perspective of, I think, 12 or so different beauty queens. And it is wonderfully fun and hilarious. It has the typical Libba Bray humor in there. And I think it'd be a really fun movie. I think you could do a lot of the funny things that they do. I think you could really follow along. I mean, you would basically have to get 12 supermodels to star in this. But I think it would be a hilarious movie, and I would love to see this book become a movie. Next, we have the Ruby Red Trilogy by Kirsten Gier. Now, they actually do have a movie to this, but it's in German and you can watch it with subtitles. I would like to see an American version of this movie, and you could definitely make a trilogy out of this as well. Basically, it's about a girl named Gwen who is born into a family that has time travelers in each generation. And she's not the time traveler, her cousin is. And then you kind of develop your time travel abilities the closer you get to like 16, 17, 18. And then they find out, oh no, she's the time traveler, not her cousin. Hijinks ensue. It's a lot of fun. I think it'd be a great movie series because you jump from the present to the past, from the present to the past. And it's a lot of fun just to see those different eras on the screen. If you get the right actress in there, I think that these could be 3 incredibly fun, incredibly funny movies. Though they will have to tweak the ending because the ending of the last book is a little but movies change everything anyway. Next one I have is Darker Shade of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. Now, I'm actually right in the middle of the 2nd book, and I am very much liking these. I can totally see these as a movie. It's about a guy named Kel who can kind of jump from 4 different versions of London. There's Black London, White London, Red London, and Grey London. That's the one that we live in. That one has no magic. Red London has good magic, White London has kind of questionable magic, and Black London has bad magic. And the door to Black London has been closed so that bad magic won't come out. Something happens where some of the bad magic is coming out and it's going into the other Londons, and Kel has to stop it. But I could see this being an incredible movie series. Like, they could just put like the red filter on the front of the camera and then everything's a little bit red in that London. And like, I feel like little things like that would make a huge difference. And I think that visually this could be kind of an incredible book. And I think I would enjoy seeing these 3 books become 3 movies. And last is a book that I felt when I was reading it would be an incredible movie. And all I thought when I got done with this is, I want this book to be a movie. And that would be The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is a book I read quite a few years ago, and though I did have some problems with the plot of this book, or a slight lack of plot with this book, I really enjoyed the world. I loved the world they built. I loved the tent. I wanted to go to the tent. I wanted to go to the cloud tent. I wanted to do all of it. I wanted to spend 5 years in that tent because it's just so incredible. This story kind of questions what is better, taught magic or natural talent, actual magic. And these 2 magicians kind of pit these 2 younger magicians against one another in a supposed epic battle, I think. Again, I didn't think the plot was amazing, but visually I think it'd be amazing. And I think they could fix a bit of the plot too, but I would love to see this book as a movie. Might be my number 1 pick for that. So there you have it, you guys. These are books that I think would be great movies or great TV shows. Please comment down below with what book you think would be the best movie and the best TV show. This isn't really a tag or anything, so if you want to do this, please by all means do this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I post videos on Tuesdays and Fridays, so I will just plan on seeing you then. Goodbye. Going to be The Name of the Wind by by Patrick Ness. Nope, that's not who wrote that book. All better.